Hello everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
So today we are beginning the same unit 3, and today we are talking the poetry section. This is an item asked in question number 1 as syntax that covers 5 marks. Fortunately, today I have my friend, my classmate with you. He is the guest. He is an English teacher and lecturer. He is from Bardia. He is with us and he is joining with us. So I am pretty sure that the class would be much more fruitful and much more interactive because I have got an intelligent person today in my class. So everybody, I believe that you are well known about the elements that I gave you regarding the poetry. Today, I am not going to repeat the things. Simply, I would go to the part which is really essential for us to learn from examination point of view as well as our knowledge. So, my dear children, I would like to begin with the screen. So, let me share my screen here. So, today we are talking about Unit 3. This is the second class regarding Unit 3. And in this unit, we discussed about a dialogue, an interview between the Dr. Imran and the reporter last week. So today I'm going to talk about the poem. This is a poem by Anne and Jane Taylor, the two sisters. They have made a very big space in the history of literature. Let's go to the point. The Foolish Fish. The title of the poem is The Foolish Fish. So while looking at the topic, we come to know that what is the poem about? Miss Aryaja, could you please tell us very briefly what might be the poem about? Aryaja?
Yes, sir.
Could you tell us what might be the poem about?
A fish with,
Most probably about a fish, right?
yeah.
And let me tell everybody, very often I use the sentence that has the double meaning, ambiguous sentence. The fish is ready to eat, right? The fish is ready to eat. Have you heard this sentence? If so, then the fish is ready to eat. It has double meaning. Could anyone tell me what are the meanings of this sentence? Anybody could unmute and tell the answer. Nobody is ready. So let me explain this. The fish is ready to eat. Its first meaning is that the fish itself is ready to eat something else. And the second meaning we could learn is the fish is cooked or the fish is fried and is ready to be eaten, or the fish is ready for us to eat. So the fish is ready to eat. So this is how the sentence gives double meaning. Let me go to the slide. So let me ask Mr. Bijesh Karanjit. Bijesh Karanjit, what do you see in the picture?
Two fishes are swimming in the water.
Yes, two fish are swimming in the lake. And could you describe about the fish there? Look at their size. Who could be there?
The upper one is bigger and the lower is smaller.
Upper one is?
Bigger and lower one is smaller.
Smaller. It's okay. It's okay. So let me go to Kariraj. What do you see here in this picture?
Something like, what is this? Like a larva.
Larva, yeah. Where is the larva then?
In the
Yeah,
what is
go
this?
on, go on.
I got confused, sir.
It's okay. If so, then let me go to Suvimda. Suvimda, where do you see that? Your friend said larva. I don't say larva.
I think, what kind of creature?
What kind of creature? It's really confusing, right? Okay, it's okay. Anyone could please, if you have idea about this picture, anyone of you unmute yourself and can speak.
Sir?
Yes, please. Arya.
Sir, I think this is a fish which is caught in a hook or something.
Oh, this is a fish or something else that is trapped in the hook. It's okay, it's okay. Let's go. What's our guess? It is not necessary that our guess must be right, you know. This is just a brainstorming. What do you see here, Mr. Chris Karki? Chris Karki.
The fish is eating earthworm.
Yes, a fish is eating
Earthworm.
Ah, good, good. Let me go to Vivek. What do you see in this picture, Vivek? Vivek.
Yes, sir. A boy fishing in a small water area.
Yes. No, in the water, right? The small boy is just fishing, especially in the paddy pond. That's a pond, okay? So
Yes,
let's
sir.
go to Samir. What do you see in this picture? Samir Thapa.
The fish is going to eat the earthworm.
Yeah, the fish is going to eat something else. I'm not giving the name of that object, okay? So let me go to Bibisa. What do you see in this picture? Bibisa Magar.
I think a boy is catching the fish.
Yes, a boy is just holding or catching the fish. So let me go to Anushka Kharel. What do you see in this picture?
Fish in a pond?
Yes. Do you find the difference between the first slide and this slide?
Yes, sir.
What is the difference? Could you tell us?
In the first slide, there was two fish. One was a mother and one was one its baby.
One was baby, let's say. Yeah.
And in this picture, there is only one fish.
Only one. This is the part. This is the poem whole about. I don't know what have you understood after visualizing these pictures, right?
Yes.
This is the whole story of this poem. How Anne and Jane described the activities of the two fish. See the thing. Anne and Jane are the two sisters. They are the nature poets. They talk about the nature, and basically Anne is the elder sister and Jane is the younger sister. How many of you have heard the rhyme Twinkle Twinkle Little Star? How I wonder who you are. Do you know who was the composer of that rhyme? The same poet, Jane Taylor. See the thing. She composed this, right? She composed this poem especially for the children. She is popular poet, and along with her, her sister Anne Taylor also was a popular literary critic and poet, and is popular English literary poet and critic. See the things. So this is about the people. This is a nature poem. Let's see the first stanza. The story was presented through the pictures and the same theme. Let's find out here. Look at this. Can you read out the stanza, Miss Sudha Chaulagai here? Sudha Chaulagai.
Yes, sir.
Please read this, recite this stanza.
Dear mother, say a little fish. Is that a home I think? I'm very hungry and I think I will get a home for me.
Thank you very much. What do you understand by this stanza, Mr. Pralon Basdit?
Sir,
Unmute yourself.
in this first stanza,
The little fish sees a worm. It is feeling very hungry and it wants to eat the fish to satisfy its hunger, and it sets its mother to hunt the worm for it.
Yes. And first of all, the little fish, the young fish saw a worm and asked the question to its mother to be confirmed that whether that is a worm or not, right? So after asking about that worm, even tells that he is feeling hungry and wish to eat that fish. That was the desire of a little fish. And he was talking to his mother. The little baby fish is talking to his mother. In the first stanza, the baby fish is talking to mother. And let's move to second stanza and the third stanza. Let's go to Jayendra Dhungana. Could you recite the second stanza? Jayendra.
Sweet innocent, the mother cried and started from her nook. That worm you see is there to hide the sharpness of a hook.
Very good. Very good. That's all. This is the second stanza. So let me go to Bishranti Chaulagai. Bishranti, if you are listening to me, please open your video and please tell us what have you understood after reciting the second stanza. Bishranti Chaulagai. May I see your face?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please, please. Go on explaining.
And the mother started crying.
Yeah.
And the worm started to hide the sharpness of the hook.
Yes. Okay. Could you please tell me where was mother fish crying from?
From her nook.
From her nook. Do you know the meaning of nook?
No, sir.
No idea. It's okay. If you could please talk about the third and the fourth line. What do you see in the third and fourth line? First and second line we discussed. What was the reply of the mother?
Hide the sharpness of a hook.
Well, what was hiding or what was covering a sharp hook?
The worm you see here to hide.
Yes, the worm that little fish saw in the water, right? That covered the sharp hook, right? The worm was fully trapped or fully caught in the hook. So that hook was covered, hook was concealed, right? And the mother spoke. Mother warned the son from the corner. She was at the corner, right? She said that the hook was hidden and there's a danger. She spoke. So let me go to Pranav Khatri. Pranav Khatri, you could read the third stanza.
Yes, sir.
Could you please read the third stanza and open your video so that I could see you?
Sir, I am through PC.
Yeah, okay, please.
As I have heard, the little throat was young and foolish too, and presently he ventured out to learn what might be true.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I would like to go to Mr. Susan Shrestha. Susan Shrestha, could you please explain what have you understood here?
Sorry, sir.
Could you please explain this third stanza? What have you understood?
That the third stanza said that the mother fish had heard that mother fish has heard that the little trout, the little fish was young and it was unknown about the trap by the penguins, and presently it ventured out and.
Okay, okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let me tell you. In the first stanza, who was speaking? Saksham Paudel. In the first stanza, who was speaking?
Yes, sir.
Who was speaking in the first stanza? Rupesh Nepal.
The mother.
Who was speaking in the first stanza? Sorry?
The mother.
In the first stanza, mother was speaking. Rupesh Nepal, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please. Could you tell us that is really mother speaking in the first stanza?
Sir, in first stanza?
Yeah, first stanza.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Do you agree with your friend, Mr. Shubham Pathak?
No, sir.
Shubham Pathak. Do
No,
you agree?
sir.
Then who is speaking in the first stanza?
Babyface.
Babyface. And then let me go to Mr. Kariraj Dahal. Who is speaking in the second stanza?
Second stanza.
Yeah.
I think the mother fish.
The mother fish is speaking in the second stanza. First stanza, the baby fish is speaking. And let me go to Mr. Prolon Basnet again. Could you please tell me who is speaking in the third stanza?
The poet.
The narrator, right?
Narrator.
We may say indirectly the poet, you know. There is the first person pronoun I, right? And the narrator is narrating the story. And what happens when the little fish saw a worm nearby them? The little fish asked its mother to get chance to eat that worm. And the mother immediately warned its baby fish not to eat that worm because that worm is covering the sharp hook that might take its life. And at that same time, the little fish did not obey the mother. And the narrator was observing all these activities there. And narrator heard that the little fish, trout means the fish, that little fish who was young, baby, you know, who was not mature, not only matured, he was foolish. He was not only immature, right? Immature. And he was foolish too. He dared to go out near to the worm to find out that whether the worm was there hiding the hook or not. He went there. This is up to this stanza. And let's go to the fourth stanza. And the fourth stanza, Shubham Kumar Yadav. Shubham Kumar Yadav, please read it.
Around about the worm he played with many a longing book. Look, that worm used with many a longing book, and dear me to himself, he says, I am sure there is no book.
Yes, very good. And let me go to Anurag Ghimire. Could you please explain what this stanza is talking about? Anurag Ghimire, very quickly. Let me see your lovely face too. I asked Nishchal Kesi, be ready for the fifth stanza. Anurag Ghimire, I find Anurag Ghimire is somewhere else. So let me go to Mansi Patel. I don't see people are responding. So let me go to Trisha Subedi. Trisha Subedi, could you open your video? Let me go to Monica Shrestha. Rhythm Koirala. It's time to Rhythm Koirala. Rhythm Koirala, could you please speak?
Yes, sir.
Please explain the fourth stanza.
The fish want to give a little bite to the worm. And
I think you were talking about the fifth stanza. I'm just going through the fourth stanza. After the little fish dared to go out to find out whether there was a hook or not, what happened then? The narrator observed all these activities. See then.
The fish didn't obey his mother.
Yeah.
And he thought that there was no hook, only her mother was
Yeah.
trying to make her afraid. And
Thank you,
she
thank
died.
you, thank you very much. And here is the word used, look or longing look. Do you know the meaning of longing? Do you know? Do you know the longing look? Longing means desiring, okay? This is the desire, full of desire. So let me recite the last stanza. I think I will give one little bite. When the baby fish thought there was no hook, when the baby fish was sure that there was no hook, and it thought to take a little bite. And as soon as he thought, he took a little bite there. Immediately, when it took the little bite, the little baby fish was caught in the hook, sharp hook, and lost its life. Helplessly means helplessly. Very terrific death. Plight means condition, helpless means helpless condition. There was no one to save that baby fish, right? And the baby fish was killed. Baby fish was caught. And finally, that there was in the picture, we saw the boy, you know, he was holding a fish, right? And the fish was killed at last. And by not doing as he was bid, by not doing, by not following as he was bid, as he was said, as he was ordered, as he was suggested not to do. Who suggested not to bite or not to take a bite of fish? That whom? Do you know the answer, Miss Subimta? Who suggested the baby fish not to take a bite?
That baby fish mother?
Yes, the mother fish, okay? Mother fish suggested the baby fish not to take a bite. Look at this. When we do not obey our parents or our seniors, and what plight or what consequences we go through, what mishaps that we have to suffer from. See the things. That is the condition, that is the result of being an arrogant and disobedient child in our life. So this is the part the two poets try to talk about. Let me go. What is, very briefly I have talked about, okay? What first stanza talks and what second stanza talks and what third stanza talks. Very briefly I have made the meaning, right? First stanza and second stanza. The fish, mother fish and the baby fish, they are conversing each other, talking each other. And then from third stanza, the narrator is narrating the story. The narrator is just revealing or just reporting the story to us. What was there? Actually, we could see finally what happens. The baby fish is killed and only the mother fish is there. And only the mother fish is left there. Therefore, the pictures that I serially inserted in the slide, we're talking about the whole poem. Therefore, I told you that's all about the foolish fish. This is the poem about the foolish fish. So what type of poem is it? This is a straightforward narrative poem. In a narrative poem, the story is told, right? The narrator tells a story about mother and son fish. See the things. That little disobedient fish disobeys the mother and meets the helpless death. This is how the narrator observes every actions and explains every actions in the form of personified fish. The two fish are here personified. They are given the twist or they are given the color of human beings, right? That is called personified, you know, like human beings. They communicated so that we could understand here. They use the human language and they talk to each other, right? This is how the poem is completed. And finally, in this poem, we have only one fish left. That is mother fish. She lost her child and she is not happy to lose the child. Anyway, she could not save her child. If we are arrogant, disobedient, right, silly, or if we are foolish or stubborn like that baby fish, we might also lose our life, and the life or our life will not be saved by none, or nobody could save our life. This is what the poem talks about. And very briefly, I talked all about this poem. So my dear children, so it's time to stop my sharing them. So, so let me go to the second part. So if you have any questions, you may ask. If not, then I have few questions to give you, okay? So first of all, everybody look at these questions and try to solve. And then first question, look, first question, if you remember the poem, right? If you remember the poem, you have to find out these words. So look at there. Do you see the questions? These are the words. Did we find the word starving there? What was the word starving there? Corner, conceal, silly. Okay, let me share you the slide once. Do you find any word here? Any word here?
Sir, hungry.
Hungry, very good. Starving means hungry. Any more other words? Let's go to this then. Do you find any more words here? Nook, yes, that's corner. Nook.
Corner,
and then,
nook.
Then?
Hide.
There is a hide, that means conceal. Very
Hide.
good. Next.
Foolish.
Do you find?
Foolish.
Foolish, very good. 4 words we found. Again, let's go to the questions again. So let's go to question number 2. Okay, look at this, okay? Guilty, opposite words this time. Guilty, indeed, bluntness, wise. Okay? So let me go to first stanza. Do you find anyone?
Innocent.
Innocent, there is, you know, innocent word. Innocent, okay. Innocent for guilty, right? Next.
Started.
Sorry?
Started.
Started. Which one word for started?
Ended.
Ended, very good. There is started, yes. Ended, started. Next.
Bluntness,
Sharpness.
Sharpness, bluntness.
Sharpness.
Wise then. Let's find out wise
Foolish.
then. There is foolish. Very good, very
Foolish.
good. Then let's go to the next question. Write T for true and F for false statement. I don't need to go to the slide back then for these questions. Let me go to Miss Anushka Kharel. What do you think the first sentence? Either true or false?
True.
That's true. If we agree with our friends, so let's clap, okay? The baby fish was hungry. So let me go to Miss Preksha Koirala to question number B. Preksha Koirala. Preksha, I don't find Preksha there. So let me go to Samir Thapa.
Yes, sir.
Sorry?
False.
Do you agree with your friend? If you agree, please clap for him. If not, then no clappings. Okay, the mother fish saw the worm first. No, the baby fish saw first. Okay, it's false. Let's go to Ayush Shrestha for question number C. Ayush Shrestha, question number C.
The fish was true, sir.
It's true. Do we agree with your friend? I think your friends disagree with you. So Pratibha Aryal, let's go to Pratibha Aryal.
That's false.
That's false. Do you agree with your friend? I don't need to say this question again. Because if one is false, then one is true. One said true, one said false. It means it's false. The baby fish was not wise. Wise means intelligent, right? That we use that wise, foolish. And then let's go to Saisa Bhatta. The last question of question number 3.
Yes, sir.
Please.
False.
It's false. Do you agree with your friend?
Yes, sir.
Okay, clap for her. Okay, thank you very much. So let's go to question number 4. So I would like to begin with Sudha Chaulagai. First question.
Yes, sir.
The little fish wanted to eat the
worm.
Do you agree with your friend?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Agree, then clap. So let's go to question number B. Question number B, Bibisa Magar.
The young little fish did not see the hook.
Do you agree with your friend?
Yes, sir.
Please clap for her. The young little fish didn't see the hook. Let's go to Mr. Suraj Rasthala. Yeah. I've seen Suraj Rasthala. Question number C. Suraj Rasthala is lost. So Subhana Gajurel.
The little fish didn't obey his mother.
Do you agree with your friend?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. So clap for her.